Oh boy. Was busy playing Guilty Gear and almost forgot Capcom was happening right now. E3 exclusive.
Welcome to the Capcom E3 Showcase. I'm your host, Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer, and I'll be your guide as we walk through the latest releases, news, and updates from Capcom. We'll hear from the Resident Evil Village team, share some news from the world of Monster Hunter, and get the latest on Ace Attorney. Then we'll wrap up with some updates from our friends at Capcom Fighters. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Our first stop today, Resident Evil Village. The Resident Evil franchise continues to pioneer the latest and greatest in survival horror.
Alright, here we
The
go.
team has been blown away by the response to
Right
Resident
off the
Evil Village.
bat with the Resident
which
Evil. I
launched
thought
last
they'd
month. It brought the world
you know,
another chapter in this decades-long
save it
story
for-
as the
save it for the
franchise
end.
celebrates its 25th anniversary this year. I'm honored to be able to introduce Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village, with a special message for the fans.
Another time.
Producer Peter Fabiano is no longer with Resident Evil. It's a shame.
There's nothing to fear.
Don't shit on me, stream.
I think it's time you left things in my hands. Go on, rest now.
Village DLC. Village DLC. Village DLC.
Hi everyone, my name is Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's played since we launched the game in May. We hope you're enjoying this new chapter in survival horror.
I am.
As a
Very much so,
reminder,
yes.
Everyone who purchases Resident Evil Village will gain free access to our online multiplayer title, Resident Evil Reverse, where players go head-to-head with their favorite Resident Evil heroes and bioweapons. I'm now
Yeah.
happy to announce that Resident
I'll play
Evil
this.
Reverse
Looks like
releases
ass, but
next
I'll
month
play the hell out of it.
across all supported platforms. So head into the fray to celebrate the Resident Evil 25th anniversary.
Ugh.
Thank you, Kanda-san, for that wonderful update. Next up,
That's,
some long-awaited news
that's
from
it,
the
huh?
world of Monster Hunter. Whether it's adventuring
That's
alongside monsters
it.
or battling them
That's
with friends, we've got something for you.
incredibly
First, let's dive into
disappointing.
the brand new story-based RPG entry
Okay.
to the series, Monster Hunter Stories 2:
Alright, whatever.
Wings of Ruin.
Wind out of my sails. Just the announcement that they started development on DLC for Village. That sucks. Alright.
This was his fate.
I can get into a girl cry.
Red may have been strong and skilled, but against the awesome power of nature, he was merely a man. He never stood a chance.
All around, things just kept getting worse.
Nergigante, man. He's my boy.
But I heard that Guardian Ratha had survived.
It's a maybe buy
and
if I
returned
could
to her other island.
ride on Nergigante and get his
I went there to see
spikes in
Red's
my
old
ass
country again.
while sitting on his neck.
Then, of course, that's when I met you.
You were given Red's kinship stone and now a Rathalos egg. This is destiny.
This is the legendary monster, Wing Ratha, the monster with the wings of ruin.
It's said that a beat of its wings can bring about waves of destruction.
Many people believe there's a connection.
Come on, since I've played a lighthearted
and the wings of
JRPG like this.
The pits are appearing everywhere, and they're emitting a strange light.
Come on. It's wholesome as hell.
What's this whole idea of forming kinship with monsters? How do you control them?
It's not about control.
That's right.
Monsters
It's
help
about the
riders
power
with
of
their
friendship.
own will. And the bonds between monsters and riders are just like your bond with Tsukino.
What kind of power does Ratha really have? Why are all of these pits appearing? And who are those people who want to take Ratha for themselves?
Where are these pits appearing?
All I
Because it's
have
a
are
shirtless
questions.
stream, baby!
If there's worry or doubt in your voice, Ratha will become anxious too. He needs to know that you will protect him no matter what.
I can sense the flames of his life force weakening. The burden of such great power is too much for his body to bear.
Why does the caged Rathalos sing?
A voice. Can you hear it?
Riders can bond with monsters. Surely you can groove with fellow humans.
They have the power of kinship. They're friends. They're monsters.
Man, this is some
These
shonen
carry the
shit.
strength of
I'm
everyone they
in.
meet.
I'm
That
in.
makes them strong. My friends here taught me that. I believe in the strength of humanity.
Gonna make me cry. Monster Hunter Rise. Stories. My bad. Ooh. Hell yeah. Can't wait for Rise to come out on PC. Nice. Love demos where you could transfer your save file.
Looks pretty epic, right? And how about that announcement? The canine companion Palamute from Monster Hunter Rise will be joining Monster Hunter Stories 2 as one of the new monsties in the first free title update coming soon after the game's release. You can get an early peek at the game with the Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin trial version starting on June 25th, which also carries your progress over to the full game release just a few weeks later on July 9th. That's not the only way to join the hunt. Millions of you made Monster Hunter Rise a huge success earlier this year, and we have even more content coming, including a new collaboration on the Rise. Let's find out more.
Let's go!
Alright. Let's see who what monsters are going to add in the update.
Rathalos is no blunt. Moon's blessing emerge. Get ready. I have a good feeling. What
Alright.
will it be? Moon's blessing emerge.
Now that's a pussy I want to fuck. Black leather pants. What we've all been waiting for, Monster Hunter.
Tamura is like my second home.
You think you can take on Rondine?
There has never been a better time to be a Monster Hunter fan, with all the new updates to Monster Hunter Rise and the launch of Monster Hunter Stories 2 this summer. We can't wait to hear about your own stories of adventure. Well, that's not the only thing Capcom has in store for us this July. Fans of Phoenix Wright will have new
Is that
chapters
the official
to
Claire leather jacket that they
Ace
made?
Attorney Chronicles. North American and
I'll see
European
the back of that
future
jacket.
attorneys will finally be able to get their hands on the Great Ace Attorney Adventures and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, which were previously only available in Japan. You'll travel back in time to the late 19th century Japan and London to play as Ryunosuke Naruhodo, Phoenix Wright's ancestor, in this action-packed prequel. Now, let's hear more about the story.
It sounded like some ADR there.
So then, let us unravel this mystery.
Alright. Solving mysteries with the great Herlock Sholmes, I think they translate
To the center of the world.
that name too.
Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
This country is incredible. I will become a lawyer. I have to.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Who are you? Herlock Sholmes.
Yeah.
We must
Oh,
solve
Herlock
this case,
Sholmes.
Naruhodo-san.
Let us engage in the art of deduction. Mr. Naruhodo. Well, what have we here? It would seem the truth is now tantalizingly close.
The defense demands its right to a cross-examination. Objection! Your testimony completely contradicts the facts.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect,
As this is turn of the century England, they should all look down and spit out at Ryunosuke for not being white.
You're the best lawyer in the world.
So we have 10 new cases and 8 mini escapades where you can take on the role of a defense attorney. Now, we all want to see some gameplay, right? Let's take a closer first look at 2 gameplay features new to the franchise in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles: Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination.
Alrighty.
Hello, I'm Jonathan, Capcom's marketing brand manager for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
Where to?
The Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
The Capcom team is thrilled to present 2 new gameplay features, Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination, coming to the Ace Attorney series.
While investigating to prove your client's innocence, players will come
The series has always been so charming. I just
require further examination.
Handsome dude.
With the help of Ryunosuke's legal aid, Susato.
This franchise has always been so charming. I hear the writing's great. It's just not, you know, I'm not into adventure games.
Herlock will proceed to present his logic and reasoning
Herlock
spectacular.
Sholmes.
A grandiose, yet flawed, series of conjectures.
Gameplay deep dive on an adventure game. Very thrilling.
Ryunosuke and Susato will then discuss to correct the flaws in Herlock's deductions. At this point, players will be prompted to search for clues that help identify the errors in the detective's logic and reveal the truth to the mystery.
It's kind of a neat
As players
shtick for this
present
game.
new evidence and observations, Herlock will amend his deductions based on the new information.
Using
Upon
your
uncovering the
detective
truth,
skills to
Ryunosuke and Herlock enter
rebuke
into
a
semi-metaphoric,
British blowhard.
semi-literal dance that brings them to the conclusion of the dance of deduction.
Such magnificent posing.
In courtroom battles, players will attempt to convince 6 jurors of the innocence of their client. Their progress will be displayed and represented by 2 scales of justice, one black, representing a guilty verdict, and one white, representing a not guilty verdict.
Objection!
In summation examination, take the stand to face off against the jurors, all of whom provide explanations as to why they've reached their guilty verdict.
You'll have to identify conflicting statements and sway the jury in your favor. Examine
So
each
let the
statement
dude
carefully and
carry
select
a
2
sword into a
contradicting
courtroom,
jurors
huh?
to call out the flaws in their logic.
Objection!
Be ready to provide evidence from the court record to help prove the contradiction in their claims.
Kind of a bummer that they
Successfully
didn't
point out one of
add
these
full voice
contradictions among
acting
the
to this
jurors.
game.
You might just change their minds, too. With a slam of their fist, each juror you persuade will send a fiery ball towards the scales above and literally tip the scales
Granted,
of justice in your favor.
With most games with voice acting,
Bring each contradiction to life
I'll skip
and
ahead
persuade
because
the
I
jury
could
to help
read
prove your
faster than they
client's
could deliver the lines, but still, it's nice to have that option.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
This has just been a small taste of the exciting new gameplay features in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are very excited to get this game in the hands of both new fans and diehard fans alike. Thanks for watching.
It already seems like I have
Alright,
a
coming to
bunch of games
Steam.
to catch
Maybe I'll
up
pick it
on.
up in a sale.
There are some exciting new adventures and titles to look forward to. Well, that's a look at the new premieres from Capcom, but what about esports? Let's close out today's showcase with a few words from 2 of the stars of Capcom Fighters, Rob TV and Vicious. They'll tell us what's been going on with Capcom esports, including updates on the Capcom Pro Tour, Intel World Open, Street Fighter League, and all the other
Are they
content
gonna
on
reveal
Capcom
the
Fighters.
final
Over to you guys.
Season 5 character? I don't think so. I'm hoping they do.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Capcom Esports presentation.
That
for
good
E3
old Pinoy
2021. My name
combo.
is Vicious, commentator for the Capcom Pro Tour as well as Street Fighter League, here with competitive Street Fighter V player and host extraordinaire, Hollywood, Rob TV. What's going on, Rob?
Oh my goodness, Vicious. Host extraordinaire. That just sounds beautiful. It has a ring to it. And I think that's the perfect word to describe what we have for everyone today. Street Fighter V, Capcom E3. It just feels right and you feel the electricity in the air.
Nice!
Nice! might be some people at home, Vicious, who don't fully know what competitive Street Fighter V is. The long and the short of it is this. We travel all around the world, state to state, country to country, and we try to bring our opponent's life bar from 100 all the way down to 0 and feel pretty goddamn good doing it.
That's right, Rob. If you think you're the best in your region, sign up for Capcom Pro Tour to prove it and become possibly a world champion at Street Fighter V.
The double perfect, the way he looked at the camera.
Yikes! Don't ever expect another man's control.
In this year's CPT overall, it's a series of tournaments that have $5,000 on the line for each tournament, but that money alone, that's not what's really at stake here. It's about making it to the granddaddy of them all, Capcom Cup.
Item just reset in grand finals of Capcom Cup.
So behind me, you can see in all of its glory, the
Punk,
Capcom Pro Tour 2021.
Always cracks under the pressure.
And that's a place that you are very, very familiar with.
That's right. We take all of our events and broadcast it live from this stage, and we check out all of the top competitors from each and every one of these regions. And speaking of, the Capcom Pro Tour has shaped up a lot. 2021, we have 32 events going on in the Capcom Pro Tour, spanning across 19 different territories. So there's so many opportunities for players from around the world to get that ticket into Capcom Cup this season. I'm absolutely excited because, again, that is a big change from what 2020 was into what we could expect for 2021.
And Mago is your first qualifier for Japan for the Capcom Pro Tour.
Not only can you catch the Capcom Pro Tour live on the Capcom Fighters channel, you can do so on a plethora of platforms. We have it on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Of course, if you don't catch it live, you can also check out the VODs for all the competitive studying you would need to become a successful Street Fighter V player, as well as catching some of the community-focused content that we have on Capcom Fighters. We have No Neutral, the official pre-show of the Capcom Pro Tour. We have sets where we take players from around the world and play off in an exhibition first to 10. Not only that, actually, we do have Street Fighter League that's happened season after season, non-stop action, 6 teams of 3.
This whole showcase for Capcom has been a big bowl of nothing, but I like the energy. It's got a nice energy at least.
You don't want to miss, because normally we only have 1v1 content, but now you actually have your teammates at your back, and every decision that you make is not just about you anymore.
Look for more news on Street Fighter League later this year.
It's Oki time. What's gonna happen? Nice. He checks it. He checks the movement. What's happening? It's so good.
Let's not forget, the Intel World Opening is happening right now. Top players representing 11 regions around the world are competing for their place in the World Finals happening next month. Be sure to check out the official website for more information, including current standings and broadcast schedule.
To commemorate this event, everyone who logged in during this period will receive an exclusive competitor title and dojo object. You do not want to miss this.
I highly recommend everyone to
How you boys doing?
For future Capcom Pro Tour updates on the Capcom Fighters channel.
And again, we've had so many events so far. We started off with the Japan region. We've had a couple of more events going on afterwards, but the action does not stop. In fact, we're going to be continuing off with the Midwest region.
For the homies in my Fantasy Critic League, you guys make any bids on anything yet?
Boy is from Ohio.
You made a big one.
You guys tune in to see the tournament.
You do not want to miss some of the best Street Fighter V players in the world compete.
5 o'clock tourney, right? Or 6 your time.
I dare you to find better Street Fighter. I dare you.
This is a game about being a world warrior. Capcom Cup tournament play. Obviously, they got a rivalry.
I'm the best in the world.
This game has changed the lives of so many people here.
Yeah. Don't tell me on the bid. I want to see it pop up on your thing.
I told you it's gonna go to the limit, and I ain't lying to beat.
This is the ultimate Street Fighter V experience. This is Capcom Pro Tour.
Whoa. You can't call Take-Two trash. If you call Take-Two's thing trash, you're calling diversity in the workplace trash.
Capcom Cup. Remember to check out Capcom Fighters' Twitch and YouTube channels for more information and to watch the latest matches. So that's a wrap for Capcom at E3 this year. Let's recap what we all saw. Resident Evil Village is back with the latest installment of the survival horror experience and RE-Verse as part of the franchise's 25th anniversary. We have new adventures to embark on in the world of Monster Hunter, with Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, and Monster Hunter
If you're for
Rise.
diversity in the workplace, then
forget to go
Take
back
Two
in
had
time
the
with the
greatest
great Ace
E3
Attorney
presentation
to tap into the
ever.
family history of Phoenix Wright and solve new cases. Finally, don't miss out on the esports fun. Make sure you catch the latest matches
I mean,
with Capcom Fighters.
it's an important
There really
conversation
is
to
something for
have,
everyone here today. But don't go anywhere yet.
but
Join the
not
conversation on Twitter and make sure you check
at
out the
E3.
Capcom virtual booth on the E3 portal.
I get
to
why
watch
they did
all
it.
these videos again and more.
but that's more of a
I'm
game
Rachel
developers
Puerto,
conference
aka
thing.
Seltzer.
Because the
Thank
chat
you
was
for being
just,
part of the
you
Capcom
know,
experience at E3 this year.
super racist. It was bananas how racist that chat was. While being smart about it by not saying the things that'll get them, like, banned, but ugh. A lot of watermelon emojis. It was fucked up. Alright. That's it. I think that's it for the day with good E3 stuff. Tomorrow's the biggies, Nintendo and Bandai Namco. So more shirtless streams for that. Oh yeah, dude, that chat was bananas. But yeah, I'll be back on Shirtless tomorrow.
Capcom's presentation. I thought that rhymed for a second, and then I was going
At,
and then I was like, that didn't rhyme.
11 a.m. Fuck you, Nintendo. Alright, see you guys. Enjoy Rocket League. I'm gonna play some Guilty Gear. And rub my belly. Rub my sweaty belly.
Not gonna lie though, that certainly got me amped. We saw a lot of great titles there, and we're gonna go into more depth about Great Ace Attorney Chronicles and all the stuff that we saw dropped with Resident Evil, but we wanted to focus on Monster Hunter a little bit more here. Without a doubt, I am absolutely hyped for Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin.